Hey everyone, welcome back to Whizbits at Random Gaming and my Thursday video. Thank you for tuning in. Today's subject, big secrets out. The Nintendo Switch, and when I say big secret, it was hardly a secret at all. Everyone in this industry, casual people, casual gamers, they all kind of knew it was coming. It got so bad that Nintendo looks like they rushed out a trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. So the news has been out about a week or so now. I left it initially. I didn't want to get straight into it. Video would probably get lost in amongst hundreds and thousands of other people telling you what they think is going to be happening or what they claim is going to be happening with the Nintendo Switch 2. This video is neither of those. I don't know anything as to what's going to happen with the Nintendo Switch, and most people out there don't. A lot of people are just making content and having a guess and hoping that people will be interested, click and watch, and I get it. But I don't know what's going to be going on with this Nintendo Switch. But what I wanted to talk about is when it's released, is it going to be difficult to get hold of? I think it's going to be really, really difficult to get hold of, the Nintendo Switch 2, in my own personal opinion. And the reason for that is, we all know the Switch wasn't that difficult to get hold of upon release, and that had a lot to do with the failure of the Wii U. Not too many people were prepared to roll the dice on the Switch when it was such an unknown commodity initially. Not everyone was convinced about the Switch. I wasn't. It took at least 2 years of keeping an eye on what was going on with the Switch for me to be convinced to actually go out and buy one. But the Wii, the Nintendo Wii, that was an absolute nightmare to get hold of. I remember when it came out, I did get one on release, but I know I got lucky with that. I got real lucky. It was a present for my girlfriend at the time, my now wife. She was happy with it, quite shocked that I managed to get hold of one. So yeah, I got some brownie points for that. So woohoo! I think, but yeah. The Switch wasn't that difficult to get hold of initially. I don't recall it being that difficult. I know it went a bit crazy when we went into lockdown. The less said about that, the better. But yeah, we went into lockdown and people was looking to buy stuff that you could do at home. All sorts of handheld consoles, all sorts of media that you could be playing or watching. Hobbies, you know, models, all that sort of stuff. The prices shot through the roof during the first lockdown, especially the first lockdown. And the Nintendo Switch was no exception to that. It was around about that time, actually, that I'd convinced myself to buy one, which was, in hindsight, quite a stupid move because I should have pulled the trigger earlier. But with Animal Crossing kind of coming out as well, I think at that time, it made the Switch a hugely, hugely popular system. More popular than it was previously, let's put it that way. I think Animal Crossing had a lot to do with the sales of the Nintendo Switch, and also the whole lockdown thing as well. You could take it out, you could play it at home. Whilst we wasn't apparently allowed out, but it just meant you could move around your home and still be playing this console, which is no different to what it was like previously. But apparently there was rules strapped on us. So yeah, it became more valuable, more sought after. I don't see it going to be, well, unless we get another major disaster with our governments again. I don't see that happening again for that reasons. However, I think the hype is real. I think Nintendo, initially with the trailer anyway, have probably played it a little bit safe this time. They knew they was onto a winner, And looking from the trailer of the Nintendo Switch 2, it does look almost just like an upgrade. What gimmicks or anything like that this particular new revision of the Switch is going to have added to it, we won't know that until the next Nintendo Direct. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. But I do think that there will be some things added to this that will make it kind of stand out different from the original Switch. But what I think is going to be the biggest opposition to the general public, to me, to you, in buying this, and that's not a Chuckle Brother reference, by the way, but to me, to you, in getting hold of this console on day one anyway, is going to be scalpers, bots. Technology has advanced a long way since that Nintendo Wii era in, what was it, 2006? I'm just guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But it's advanced now. We've got people that will just be buying up these things and selling them at, you know, an extortionate price. It's going to happen. There's no way around this. You're just going to have to dig in deep and hope that you get one. And if you don't, then please, I hope that you don't go out and pay a scalper an extortionate amount of money for this. They will become available again. Nintendo will continue to revise all their consoles. Look at Nintendo's history. They always release different revisions of their consoles. Always. Since, well, especially in the handheld market. And the Switch is going to fall into that bracket because it's a cross-hybrid handheld portable games console, home console, whatever you want to call it. You're going to get your Zelda editions, your Mario editions or something like that. So there will be more stock made. It's going to sell a lot. So if you don't get one day one, don't worry. It's not a case of what the title says. Get Switch or die trying. You don't have to. You'll be able to get hold of one. When, I don't know. If you get one day one, then more power to you. Well done. I hope you enjoy the system when it comes out. So we've got a lot of people as well talking about the games, the specs, blah blah blah. I'll be honest with you. I'm just a gamer. I read stuff about the specs, and if I'm honest, I don't 100% know what it means. I get it to a degree, but I'm not that guy. I'm not that one that knows everything about specs and stuff like that. I'm too old in the tooth for that. The best way for the new Nintendo Switch, it's been described to me personally by a journalist friend of mine, whose name I won't divulge. He's mentioned to me that what he's heard is that the Switch 2 is going to be around about the same power as what a PS4 Pro is. Now, a lot of people will be thinking, but we're on a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X errors now, Tony. That's not good enough. It is. For what Nintendo release and what Nintendo will be bringing to you, it really is. What the Switch is still doing to this day on the software and the hardware that it originally released in 2016 is fantastic. It's almost a miracle, in all honesty, to see some of the games that come out on that system. It's very, very dated hardware, but we're still getting good stuff on it. And a lot of the stuff from Nintendo, particularly their first party titles, they don't require the same horsepower that your Xbox games and your PlayStation games do. The AAA stuff, on a personal level, I'm not that interested in the AAA stuff that comes out now. So I don't care about what the power is. Yeah, it's got to be more powerful than what we've currently got, but that's a given. That's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to be powerful enough. And a PS4 Pro, if that's the power that it's going to have, in the palm of your hands, that is still a really, really good handheld. You know, you can't knock that. The backwards compatibility thing as well, massive, massive plus sign for that. I've built up a huge Nintendo Switch library, and I've been buying lots of games from strictly limited games, limited run games. I've been buying import stuff from PlayAsia, lots of stuff like that, which is why I've really been enjoying collecting for the Switch. And for all of a sudden them to not be playable on the new version, that would have been heartbreaking for me personally. So I'm really glad that that is going to be the case. I can literally get one of these day one, if I'm lucky, and use my existing library whilst I'm waiting for the Switch 2 library to build itself up. That's another thing as well. If you don't get hold of one of these consoles on day one, it's not a disaster. We don't know the launch lineup yet. Now I'm sure there's going to be a couple of good games. We're hearing the rumours. There's a new 3D Mario. There's going to be a new Mario Kart. Potentially Red Dead Redemption 2. Not bothered about that. I've got Red Dead Redemption 2 on a couple of the systems I've got behind me, so I don't need to be playing that. Halo's coming to the Switch 2 apparently. Not bothered about that. I've got an Xbox if I want to play Halo. So whilst it's really good to see these stuff potentially coming to the system, I don't care. It doesn't excite me as a gamer, as an individual per se. So I'm more looking for the third party stuff. I'm looking for your indies. I'm looking at the stuff what limited run are going to be releasing on this console. I'm looking at the stuff that's going to be the more obscure stuff. That's what I've grown to love about the original Nintendo Switch. So if I don't get one day one, and if you don't get one day one, don't worry, because there's going to be a handful of games on the system on day one. Good games, admittedly, if the reports are true, but there's going to be a lot more to come, a lot more. It's you know, I was talking to someone today. We was joking about my video last week about me going for a Wii U full set, and before I revealed what I was going for, they jokingly mentioned to me, "Am I going for a Nintendo Switch full set?" And I laughed. I said, "Impossible." He came back to me, and apparently there's over 1,000 releases worldwide on the Nintendo Switch. Now, we don't know how many of them are physical and how many are digital, but let's just put it into perspective. I'm going to say at least 700 of those games are probably out on physical one way or another. That is a difficult collection to go for, and I won't be doing it in my lifetime. I don't think I've got long enough left on this planet to be going for something like that. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about the Nintendo Switch 2. Do you think Nintendo have played it too safe? Because it does just look like a Nintendo Steam Deck, in all honesty. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not knocking it in any way, shape or form. It does look like a Nintendo Steam Deck. Do you think it's going to have any sort of fancy gimmicks to it? Do you think that we'll be able to play first-person shooters with them Joy-Cons in like a way that you can use a mouse? That was hinted at, wasn't it, in the trailer? And I think that was the only real hint of any sort of gimmick that was given in that trailer. So if that doesn't turn out to be true, then Nintendo could actually just be playing it safe. They might have learned from the Wii U and just decided that, you know, they want to roll with the success. They want to keep that success going and play it safe. That doesn't sound like Nintendo, but when you've sold the amount of units that the Nintendo Switch has, I can totally understand why you might look and say, this is the format we're adopting now. This is what we're going to stick with. We don't need the big innovation anymore in order to get our audience back. They've got their audience. PlayStation don't do that. PlayStation just released the next installment and add a number at the end. It's worked for them. don't ask me what Xbox have done, because that is confusing. You know, we've got Series X, this, X 360. Yeah, they messed up entirely. Whoever was coming up with the ideas at Microsoft, yeah, you've completely messed that one up badly. Ever since the Xbox One, it's just gone all the way downhill. I still love Xbox, but you can't stick up for the faults and the mistakes that they've made. But yeah, will you be buying the Switch? Do you plan on buying the Switch 2 on day one, if that's a possibility? Is it a case of, like the video says, get Switch or die trying? Are you going to get out there, get in the battlefields and make sure that you've got one on day one? Me, I'm going to do my best to grab one on day one. If I don't get one on day one, for me, it's not a disaster. It's a case of, okay, down the line. It's not exactly going to be a difficult product to get hold of for its entire lifespan, is it? I've got plenty behind me to get on with, plenty of games over there in my shelves. I've got plenty to get on with and play in the meantime. But yeah, I will be disappointed if I don't get one, because I'm quite excited. The Switch has slowly but surely become my favourite system probably of all time, just due to the sheer variety of games that we can get on it. And I'm hoping that the Switch 2 is going to be a worthy successor. Anyway guys, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, if you've liked the content, do remember my new schedule now is game hunt videos Monday nights at 6 PM. Thursday nights we're going to be doing game chat at around about 7 PM in the evening. These are going to be going out weekly, and we'll have bonus content throughout the week as well. Most of my gameplay video now will be exclusive to my secondary channel, which I'm currently building up, which is Whizbit's Random Gameplay. You can find a link to that channel in the description below. If you could head over there, give us some support, it'd be much appreciated, because it's a fresh project and it is starting from scratch. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.